and everything. It's an interesting song, how it goes. I didn't think it went this way. It got kind of slam shuffled there, seems like. Not exactly a fan of how that song ends. I'm gonna have to change that. Darn. Let's double check to make sure we can hear the music. Oh yeah, am I able to hear myself? Oh, whoops. Probably be a good idea for me to do this. Can I hear myself now? Oh, whoops. Probably be a good idea for me to do this. Can I hear myself now? Yes, I can. Time to put this back on the, Alright. Hello everyone, Bubble Ninja 720 here, bringing you part 97 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy 14. Gotta turn off my phone. Alright, I've been a while away from this, been playing a bit of 7 Days to Die. That's been having fun with that. I did a little bit of change up, I finally put a door in my bathroom, so it's got some privacy now. Still very sparse, just the tub and a wash basin. But I still have no bed. I'm sleeping in my chair. At least I still have my staff. And then pretty much just the goodies down here. Not much change there. We do have an event going on. We have the, what was it, Moonfire Summer Festival? So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and go to Limsa. We'll probably do some more story afterwards, just to fill it up. So let's go to the Aft Castle. Oop, that's the wrong way. Probably a good idea to go the right way. Fire red, beast green. Do my eyes deceive me, or do I spy a familiar face who looks like he could do with some proper summer recreation? That's right, the sun's rays are out in full force, and so is our beloved Moonfire Fair. These days, the event doubles as free promotion for the Adventurers Guild, you know. The brave and the bold show off their heroics, and afterwards the fair guests flock to the guild in droves to hire them. But the real star of the show is the acclaimed Eorzea Nimble Warrior Course, bringing in hundreds upon hundreds of new challengers. At any rate, we could really use more help out there, so if perchance I piqued your interest, I suggest you sip out the Costa del Sol and speak to our chief chaperone, Hermaga. Sure thing, boss. Let's go ahead and head on over. Now, I have done this with my main character. It's a very short one, so we'll have story to do afterwards, just to fill out the stream. Going to Costa. Oops. Woof. It's a short little flight over here. This away. Hero. Now there's a sight for sore eyes. Did Moriaro send you out here to lend a hand? This year, the event is shaping up to be a thrill for visitors and staff alike. Allow me to give you a brief outline of what we have planned. In case the screaming and splashing hadn't given it away, we brought back the Eorzean Nimble Warrior course with all its explosive challenges intact. And if the summer sun gets to be too much, grant yourselves a refreshing reprieve by enjoying an icy treat or playing with the polar bears. Sadly, you can't buy that food for use or like a display. Even better, this year we've added a little Far Eastern flair with these hand vans. They're called Uchiwa, and they drive away evil spirits, or so I'm told. To ensure their authenticity, we hired an expert in the art of the festival to craft us 100 crates of them. And what color could be more fitting for Moonfire than bright, blazing red? Seeing as the origins of the event can be traced back to the bombard hunts of years past, I say Uchiwa are a perfect fit for the spirit of the occasion. And judging from the sizable crowds, I'm far from the only one. The downside, of course, is that we presently find ourselves quite ill-equipped to manage a turnout of this magnitude. Personally, I'd like to bolster our security cadre if I can. As it stands, none of us would be able to leave our posts in the event of a serious emergency. So, given the fortuitous timing of your arrival, could I ask you to... Monster! Uah! Perfect timing. Convenient. Did she say monster? Damn it all, the people are starting to panic. What panic? What people? Police hero, you've got to help us. I'll stay here and try to keep the crowd calm. You head north to find that woman. Fine. There we go, headed this way. The monster was just here, I swear. It was leering at me from behind that rock, making these off-kilter little motions, and then it ran off to the east. Okay, cool. I thought for certain it would come over here and... Ooh, I feel faint. I need to go lie down. Bye-bye. Fireworks, yay. Oh no, it's a sweaty guest. Damn, I didn't stand a chance against that thing. Should have seen it. I was minding my own business out here, practicing my steps, and suddenly that thing showed up out of nowhere to challenge me to a dance-off. Then after it utterly trounced me, it raced off again. With it, I could tell you where, or even which direction. Although, come to think of it, I believe I saw something fall from its body. Well, it doesn't much matter to me anymore. I can hear Summer's call, and it must be headed to the ocean with me. Whatever fell off the thing, you'll find it lying over there if you think it will help your search. Well, yeah, usually that does help. I need a drink. Okay, so I'll be heading back to Old, for the story. I think I might be having a little bit of an allergy attack. Not fun. Ah, there he is. Glad as ever to see you again, hero. Hermaga has told us you might be in need of urgent assistance, so here we are. We've heard reports of a green monster running amok. Have you learned aught in the way of a clue? It dropped something, did it? Looks to be a needle by my reckoning. It's obvious we're dealing with a cactuar, or it's obvious we're dealing with an inebriated weaver. I joked around on my main and I picked the weaver, so I know which one it is. So we're gonna go with the cactuar. Cactuars on La Noscia of all places. Surely they would struggle to survive so far removed from their native habitat of Thanalan. I am so sorry about this. Madam Mameja, if I'm not mistaken, was it not Master Gegaruju himself who invited you out to Costa del Sol? Yes, I traveled all the way from Ul'dah at the summons of my friend Gegaruju. Naturally, I couldn't bear the thought of my dear pets missing out on the fun and festivities, so I brought them along with me. Not for a moment did I ever think that they would act out like this. You have my deepest apologies. They were perfect angels when we stopped in to see Gegaruju. He even gave them treats. But the moment I stepped away for a drink, they went mad, and poor Gegaruju couldn't rein them in. By the time I got back, they were gone. I swear to you, this has never happened before. Well, that would certainly explain how a cactuar ended up in La Noscia. Regardless, if your pets pose a danger to the fairgoers, we may have to subdue them by force. No, please, I've raised them since they were pups. They never hurt a fly. I don't fancy the prospect myself, but what other option is there? Given that the Moonfire Fair would have no venue were it not for Master Gegaruju, I'd obviously prefer if we didn't upset a dear friend of his. Yes, termination should be a last resort. Let us first attempt to capture them. A sensible plan. Should things turn violent, it would only frighten the attendees. This calls for a more subtle approach, just the three of us, perhaps. Indeed, I would see the situation sorted swiftly, that we might return to the fair. If we work quickly, we may manage to find it before it escapes the bounds of Costa del Sol. Thus I propose we split up, Hero. My friend, will you search the west side of the island? Sure. Count on me. Nope, that's not lefty, but it's close. Hey, it looks like an angry cactuar. Did you find something? It appears he did, but how are we going to capture it? I've never seen a cactuar look so dangerous. Is it just me, or is it radiating an aura of pure malice? Never seen the poor thing like this either. Come to think of it, Gegaruju told me it seemed to him as though they were possessed. In that case, perhaps the aura is an evil spirit. If only we could purify it somehow. Perhaps an Uchiwa would help. That thing needs is an exorcism. Of course, in the Far East they use Uchiwa to ward off evil spirits, right? Maybe our festival fans would work. In that case, allow me to do the honors. Evil spirit be gone, Uchiwa Shoi! Yep. Yes, well that was easy. Shall we head back for drinks? Nope, not that easy. I'm terribly sorry to interject, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. That's only one of my dear cactuars. I'm still missing the other 6. I do appreciate you finding Cacti, of course, but I'm worried about Cactilo and Cactina and Cactistifer and... Wait, so when you said pets, you brought 7 cactuars to La Noscia? It is concerning, then, that we scoured every inch of the island and only found 1. It appears we will have to take our search to the mainland. Very well, let us take up our Uchiwa and find these cactuars, that we might ease them of their torment. It'd probably be a good idea for me to scroll down in case there's any messages. I forgot about that. I think I have it set up to... You learn the emote Uchiwa Shoi. Festival Fan Frenzy. I take it you're ready to begin. In that case, let us review our objective. First, we must seek out these cactuars. As soon as one is located, placate it with a gust from your Uchiwa. Then bring it back here. You, my friend, are in charge of searching the southwestern cliffside. Don't exactly have that many there. Where is it? There it is. Washoy! The cactuar appears to have snapped out of it, whatever it may have been. Eager for your company, it walks right up to you, allowing you to grab it. Again, still, you are not Lefty. Washoy! Almost looks like I'm beating it with the fan. Cactuar appears to have snapped out of it, whatever it may have been. Eager for your company, it walks right up to you, allowing you to grab it yet again. Alright, so I've now freed 3 cactuars of the 7, so it's up for the other 2 to find the other 4. Welcome back. I don't suppose you found any cactuars. Here. And that brings us to 7. Excellent. We're done. And now that that's over with, I think I'll grab myself a drink and find a nice vantage point, preferably somewhere in the shade. Oh, take me with you. I've been dying for a drink. At last, the crisis is well and truly averted. Now I can return my focus to what matters most, ensuring a spectacular time is had by all. Seeing as Hermaga still needs a status report, could I ask you to see to that? Fine. Ark had a very short stint. Welcome back, hero. It seems you had the cactuar crisis well in hand. You've done your part to keep the peace, and for that I thank you. Sure thing. Now, what's this I hear about a malicious aura? Efficacy of the Uchiwa aside, I'd rather like to get to the bottom of this, lest we suffer the same problem next year. I just wanted to report that the pet cactuars are resting safely away from the main festivities. I asked another chaperone to keep an eye on them. I cannot apologize enough for the trouble I caused. Yes, well, I'm glad to have this matter settled quietly. My lovely ladies were quite frightened. That being said, speaking as one who has seen his share of dancers, your pets have star potential, my dear Mamasia. Truly? Perhaps I should have them formally trained. You're not seriously going to encourage that behavior, are you? Lest you forget, it was pure coincidence that we found a peaceable solution through the use of our Uchiwa. For something like this to happen again, that luck might not hold. Surely you don't mean... I've learned my lesson, I swear it. As soon as we're home, I'll ensure they're trained to stay at my side at all times. That's all I ask. Incidentally, did you notice anything that might have served as the catalyst? They're cavorting. No, I'm afraid not. I was away at the time, you see. I thought it quite strange myself. One moment they were downing their wine like sailors, then the next it was as though they were possessed by some manner of wicked spirit. Well, obviously possessed by spirits. They were drinking wine, my lord. And what a fine vintage it was. I was delighted to be in a like-minded company. Oh, the great conversation we could have had if only they could speak. Mamasia, I can't believe I'm asking this, but is wine safe for cactuars? How should I know? I've only ever given them the finest spring water from the mountains of Kurthus myself. It seems we have our culprit, so they were just drunk. Pah! They barely had a cupful each, and besides, it's not like I poured the stuff down their throats, did I? Alright, look, perhaps sharing a bottle wasn't the best of ideas, but how was I to know that they couldn't hold their drink? Personally, I'm just glad the mystery's been put to rest. And seeing as Mimage has learned her lesson, I dare say we won't be seeing a repeat of this incident. Well, just in case someone else gives wine to some other cactuars, I'll be sure to let the chaperone team know to reach for a Uchiwa rather than a weapon. That'll be much appreciated, Pubiano. There we go. Now let's return to the festival. The Adventurers Guild won't promote itself, you know. As for you, Hero, on behalf of the entire chaperone team, I thank you. Enjoy the remainder of the event, and don't be a stranger, alright? Sure. Although I'm going to be a stranger right after this. So gone. Summer's biggest fan. I will do one thing, though. I'm going to go buy a bouncing bomb balloon. Yay. Whee! Alright, time to go to Ul'dah. Oh, actually, I need to do something. Hold on one moment, please. It's peace for Thanolin. Actually, I do need to go to the, Aetheryte. My bad. Chamber rule works. Nope, that's not it. It's up here. You are expected, my lord. Please proceed.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
Very.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Raoban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ul'dah home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt.
Because of that missing arm of his.
Whether Raoban chooses to remain in Ul'dah or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him?
True.
It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears.
Uh-oh. Give me a second, I gotta blow my nose.
Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Wunderbar! Alright, so we're going to the quicksand. Man. What do you think of Lilira, the merchant's daughter? This is the disguise I don when I wish to leave the palace and observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papa Shan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I needed an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the Gate of Dald. Give me 1 second. I was trying to figure some things out. Alrighty, so we go right out here, I believe. Yep. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor at the mercy of the elements and Thanalin's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. Unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. Your hands have been tied, or you've done your best. Your hands have been tied. Yes, my authority is limited, and that is an obstacle I must work to overcome. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Cool. I must blow my nose again. I'm sorry. Alright, sorry about that. Seems like the my stint outside for breakfast did not bode well for me. God, I love the shine of the regalia ever since the graphics update. Such an excellent paint job. So glad that it doesn't get dulled by sand and dirt and burns and all that stuff. Excuse me. Oof. It was here in this wholly unremarkable place that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in Eastern Thanalan when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could only have brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price for my naivete. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the Monitor's damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You're one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Old Dawn and visit the Colosseum. The Colosseum. Torgal! I still haven't played the game yet, but god damn, you're a very good dog. Let's give you a pet. Back into the air. Gladiators Guild. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from the ignominious chapter of my life, for it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against a dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but his seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade. Yep, time for me to have a little bit of a callback. You're screwed. Down for the count.
You mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham. Raban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Uldar. And so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Uldar!
Quite a bit of pomp and circumstance there. Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Rauben, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge I could cut which could cut the strings that bound me. Stewed River Bream. I guess we'll go with the silver pieces. A Sultana's duty. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Elzeneth ossuary. I think that's where the Thaumaturge's Guild's at. Yep. Oop, I can still play someone in cards. She's actually pretty difficult to fight. I believe it's a female. When the calamity threatened, Rauben led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartno, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. And that day, I have made a custom of visiting the shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, hero. With Alamigo now freed from imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, many displaced Alamegans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan's school in Ralgar's Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time the Ildan Treasury shall provide. Precisely, where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. Now, might you ask a member of the Syndicate for advice? They tell you not to spend the money. Might not seek the advice of one who employs refugees. That might work. A wise suggestion. May I have a visit to the Gold Saucers in order? Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. That would be Manderville. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Yeah. And I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. Sure. I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I had never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Well, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and do my cackpot. Oh, we're going to try this one. Oh, nope, that didn't work out. Let's try this one again. Nope, that was a little bit better, though. Oh, I gotta do it. Haha, finally! Third time's the charm, apparently. You know, for years I didn't know that you could do that. And then someone showed me that. And I was like, oh my god, that helps so much. I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? Sure. I don't think they have a voice for Manderville yet. My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice. When the intrepid hero and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement. As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanolin. You are aware, I'm sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed? The unusual circumstances of our meeting and your Grace's choice of companion would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Uldah's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea. You oppose my proposition. Most emphatically. I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Uldah in this arrangement? Profit? After all you have done for Girabania's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek the benefit from their misfortune. Forgive me, Your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Uldah's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill. Indeed, then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Uldah. Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor. Hey, Sultana's resolve. Ooh, what do I get out of this? Direct hit and critical hit? Oh, that's pretty good. Ooh, that's got crit and direct hit as well. I like the persimmon leaf sushi better. Profit. The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Hero, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business. Ooh, I got a few. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Aldenard Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte and Elda. A fair journey to you, hero, and a swift one, if you please. Why can't you just do this as well? Oh, you need a little bit of money. Or an Aetheryte ticket. Oh, you have to actually be there first in order to do that. Never mind. Been a while since I've heard this stuff. This song. What's this? Ah, that opens up Kugane Castle as a dungeon. Greetings, honored sir. Will you be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices? Yes, I will. Out of my way. Hero, to what do I owe the pleasure, or are you here on business? Business? I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Ul'dah. My dear hero, I have you to thank for this. Recognition, I am sure. And I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. I was actually honestly thinking about Rowena, but okay. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. Should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, hero, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Just another friggin' port is all I have to do. Oh wait, no. That was close. It tells me to go to Ul'dah. Read your quest notes. I almost wasted a ticket. Well, almost 2 tickets wasted. Because then you have to report back to where you need to go. Welcome back, hero. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I'm well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarist at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Yeah. You should travel with me so you don't get kidnapped. Or worse. Oh, she's already here. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I've heard many tales, but never have occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of our meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help. You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask.
Oh, you're actually going to take it off. I don't remember this.
There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I.
Well, it's definitely not agriculture.
Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Oh, shit. I get Alagana and Alagiri flipped all the time. If I remember, Alagiri had walls.
Yes, if a stable trade route can be established between Uldar and Alamigo, then Alagiri would once more become an important waypoint. But while such growth would greatly benefit its current residents, I'm afraid it could sustain little beyond that.
I guess the Saltery.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch
Oh,
Sel.
never mind. He's gonna point at
I
Alagana.
know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ons of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
Well, shoulder. He's kind of missing an arm.
A deal is struck then.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, hero. I could not have done it without you. Give me that persimmon leaf sushi. Securing the saltery. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, hero, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your next return to Alamigo. Sure thing. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Alright, so I gotta go to the Alamigo quarter now. There it is. Hero, you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Rabon says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. But I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Uldah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugani never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Saltery's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining this Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, hero? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances might prove useful. Sure thing. Alright, Arnvald, see you later, bro. Bye, Lise. Fly. Oh, I have a card to get over here, too. Hello. There's an A rank here. I can't take him down solo though. I'd get stomped. See, he uses Piggy on you, and then he eats you and kills you in one hit. What manner of mischief brings you youngins to Old Wat this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Hero, tell him about the deal. Yeah, here you go. This is the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like it's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hex has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the block if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whiskar, my lad. Truly I would. So does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Hero? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Sure thing. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock. Most of you are busy attending to the local fauna. I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Right then, Hero. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. Search your surroundings for yabbies. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a yabby and inspect it with R2X. The Abbey's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the other side of the head looks less soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Just hit it as hard as you can. Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then, wish me luck. Of course, that puts you right in line with their mouth. Thanks, Hero. I did just as you told me, and the Wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. It feels kind of lame leaving this guy over here. I think I can handle the Yabian now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Search your surroundings for Phobads. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target and inspect. Yeah. Yada yada. The Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the assault column inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the core within its brow. Just hit it really, really hard as you can. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. It's not easy fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo watching her every move. But I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, hero. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Sultry before Granddad starts to worry I've been snipped into pieces and fed to Iyabi's hatchlings. Oh, they're going at it, so I'm joining in. I think I'm gonna drop off of that. Hex, that's the thing that's bad. Ooh. We're all getting hexed again. Yay, I got some stuff. I don't think I got the max amount, but oh well. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself after a bit of instruction from Hero here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights in the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Sultry ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Ooh, music. I love music. A blissful arrival. Ooh, that was interesting. Seems Whiskar has the Sultry security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Aldine. Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak with you at earliest convenience. Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go. General Aldine asks that you wait for him by the main gate in the Alamegan Quarter. My apologies again, sir. Fare you well. Gotta breach the wall. I'll just go around. Actually, that'll be easier. Maybe not.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Oh shit.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Oh shit. Oh, damn it. I kind of want to execute the fuckers. Because Laurentius has proved double time that he is a fucking just cheat. We'll just do that. Although I would kill them, personally.
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me. I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamegan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
I mean, you got your country freed. A lot of people did die, though.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Are involved, what news? We may have a problem, sir. Our group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vira. These are the Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Hero, you've dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you at my side. Sure thing. The flying eyeball. Oops. My bad. I'm looking away at certain points at my phone. Cutscene. Hero, Raban. God, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. I like the red of her dress, I just don't like little aspects of it. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed the Viper into our midst? Alright, let's learn that music roll. The measure of his reach. Ooh, I get a Raban pet. Return of the Bull. This Kalyana elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, hero? The enthralled cannot be trusted. Mayhap even the enthralled can learn to compromise. I'll keep an open mind. You believe an understanding can be reached. It's not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? Yes. I'll round up our comrades and send them all to the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, hero. My thanks. I'll see you in the palace. Thanks, Arnvald. Ooh, I got 900 tomestones. I'm fully kitted out. I just need the chest piece. Maybe I'll get the chest piece. Oh, whoa. Maybe I'll get the chest piece next. Hero, I brought reinforcements. Arnvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I am not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but Elisei's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races, despised it in fact, even compared to other Ananta. Indeed. This apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lys was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould be wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We shall join General Alden inside, then. Hero, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. Cool. Let's go ahead and fly up there, then. Oh, we gotta go down. You're with the Scions, sir? General Aldin left orders that you were to be escorted inside, if you'll follow me. Yes, let's do this.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lys Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, I've heard it said Sheechern, and now I've just heard it as Kikern. What is the actual proper pronunciation of that beast tribe?
What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
Don't jinx it.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ravenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kaliana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
Uh-oh, did they just... I don't remember this at all.
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Downa. Well, that's one down. Two tanks taking it down.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
Nice.
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvolt to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick.
You only got about 5 or 6 people to take down.
Who will be next to die on my steel?
Let me just hurry up and take down Lakshmi. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it. If I think like that, we'll have already lost. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. We can do this. Isn't that right, hero? Duty action deflect to dissipate the Aether Sphere's Lakshmi releases during the battle. Be warned that allowing an ally to be enthralled by an Aether Sphere will result in failure. Sweet. I really don't do well when I have to deal with people. They picked the perfect goddamn time. Oh shit. Shit. Come on, Armvold, speed it up. I think that was all. Oh, sweet mother of Jesus. I'll be damned if I let these get by me. That was a little on the rough side.
God damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Oh, Fordola.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Yeah. We do need more people. Oops. Oh shit. I can't attack her. Come on, let me fight. Yay! Oh, come on. Why can't you stand on the damn boss? Hey, I hit you. Come on. Break me out. You got it? Good. Eat my crits!
Not your soul's way, Henry.
Can I get out of this? Nope, I can't. Oh, I'm about to rough her shit up. Oh, you can stand in the circle. That's what it is. I need a limit break. Here we go. You gonna drop that limit break anytime? There we go. Should've let me do it, but oh well. Taken down. Took it long enough. Dissipated, taken care of.
We did it! We beat her!
What is this?
I'm only going to say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
She could have just screwed us all over. Thankfully, she didn't.
Seven hells. It's her. The Butcher.
Oh, she gets to relive everything.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Step in the right direction. Well fought, hero. Arnvald, that was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Yeah, it's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nay, lass. We were caught all caught unawares. We'll take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in the future. Be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by Azara. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Y'shtola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Ferdola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Ferdola grew up in is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. Can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. It's a long and arduous path you have chosen, but well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphino. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. Now see that you're not interrupted, hero. You and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. Thank you. Usually when they tell you to take rest in a storyline, it's usually the end of that portion's patch, and then you have to wait for the next patch to release more content.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens.
Kind of wish I had one of my own.
The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government modelled on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people.
Interesting.
It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
Huh. Are you leaving? Oh, my weapon looked like it had some signs of, like, use. It's a little worn. Oh. She did take a little trip over. I really don't like the look of that axe.
Something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with the most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
It's almost like someone's dying.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Ul'dah.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Should give him the Barrett treatment. Put a Magitech gun on his arm. Give him a Gatling. Of course, then we have to figure out where the bullets be housed. That's the one thing I never did figure out. Where are all those bullets that Barrett would shoot off? Where were those stored? Actually, you could just give him a cannonball arm.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise. But we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Aldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest.
Ha.
But I must yield the floor to Raubon. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, Father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
Foreshadowing?
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raoban.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you're more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
I think it's about time I headed back to Rauger's Reach. What's next for all of you? I'll say you'll be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Hero, why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? Sure. Upon completion of this quest, you'll be able to access the palace's rooftop gardens by speaking to the Royal Menagerie attendant. Cool. I must assume Father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside Ul'dah, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured they will find Tyzona's edge just as sharp in my hands. Seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed me for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. I have asked enough of you, Hero. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. So I need to go to Rauger's Reach, which is perfect because I need to go purchase a chest piece of armor. Got a lot of unlockables. Ooh. Oh, you're kidding. I don't have room for it? Do I have any crits? I don't. Remember, I gotta be a snazzy dresser. Gotta be that Dapper Dan. After this mission is after this quest is done, I gotta end it though, because I gotta get ready for work, unfortunately. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kind still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals only lead to more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vera and Emtride first. No, I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kaliana's movements at all times. Blech. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the resistance army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Alamigo? Funny you should say that. We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Ralgor's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray. But that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Raban as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed. He's in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. Uh-oh. Cutscene. Something's going on in Kugane. Oh. I do give thanks to the kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads. I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. You might as well just enjoy it while you got it. It's just like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive and I must return to my master's side. Come, Suyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Interesting how he used the last part of her name as her new name. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, another cutscene. At the Hall of Doom. Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. If I remember correctly, this gets into a point where I'm like, I really wish I could kill some of these people. More heroes. And I gotta dress up Rabon. Yay! But anyways, we're gonna have to leave this here. Thank you all for watching. This has been part 97 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. If y'all liked it, give me a thumbs up by hitting that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber. Keep up with the content. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about the game and my gameplay. There's no spoilers, please. And I will see you in the next video. Catch you then. Later. Bye, everyone.